What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys one of the most anticipated spoiler discussions for one of the biggest new releases this week, Justice League. That's right, guys, you heard me say it. This is a spoiler video. If you have not seen Justice League right now, what are you even doing? Go to the movie theater and watch it. I'm sure you already have seen it, but this is our spoiler discussion. If you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch it. Or if you want to, you can check out my spoiler-free review. It's on my channel right now. And then come back and watch this video. I have a guest to do the spoiler talk for Justice League. And it's my good friend Jeff Melicky from Jeffito's movie blog. Jeff, how's it going? Tell us about your channel.
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? Real excited to talk about Justice League with you. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I do pretty much the same thing that Ryan does here on YouTube over at Jeffito's movie blog. Movie news, movie reviews, trailer reactions, box office predictions, all kinds of fun stuff. But today we are talking Justice League, and I cannot wait.
Yes, I cannot wait too, Jeff. Yes, guys, definitely check out his channel. But before we get into the huge spoilers for Justice League, let's quickly go over our thoughts. Jeff, what are your overall thoughts of Justice League after walking out of it?
Overall, pretty positive. It's not without its issues, of course. There are some certain problems that I have with it that I'm sure that we'll get into. But overall, I do think that the good outweighs the bad. There's more positives than negatives, and I left having had a fun time. I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit.
Yeah, I totally agree. Same thoughts as you, man. This is definitely a step in the right direction for the DCEU. It was fun. It wasn't serious. It had good humor in it, great characters. But yes, it does have its flaws, and it's not a perfect movie. But the movie did its job entertaining me for sure. Let's get right into the spoilers, man.
Let's spoil this thing.
Oh yes, let's do it. And we're just going to get right into the two end credit scenes of the film. First, the mid-credit scene of the film. We see Superman and the Flash, they're about to have a race together. And I really like this mid-credit scene because it's really funny. We finally see Superman and the Flash given good chemistry and humor. Superman's like, if I beat you, you're off the team. And the Flash is like, if I beat you, I can tell people I finally beat Superman in a race. And it's just a good chuckle. I really like that mid-credit scene a lot. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was just funny. I think DC finally has the right balance of seriousness and humor in the latest two movies, both in Wonder Woman and now here in Justice League. They finally struck the right balance, and that mid-credit scene that you're talking about, the race, is absolutely indicative of that. I loved it. I thought it was a nice little humorous stinger midway through the credits, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally agree. Now the one I want to talk about is that end credit sequence. We finally see Deathstroke. Deathstroke is finally going to be in the DCEU, and he's going to be played by Joe Manganiello. All of the rumors came true, and just the way that this end credit scene is set up, it's really long. You see Lex Luthor broke out of Gotham Asylum, and he's creating the Legion of Doom, and Deathstroke is his first one he's trying to recruit. And we see Deathstroke go on a ship. Lex Luthor's talking to him, and he's like, I hope you're not wasting my time. And then Lex Luthor's like, I want to create a league of our own. And you obviously know, if you're a huge comic book fan, that this is a kind of a setup to the Legion of Doom. And I really liked it a lot. Just to finally see Deathstroke, like, that totally looks like Deathstroke.
Yeah, absolutely. That final end credits scene was a lot of fun. Really sets up the future of the DCEU, if that's the direction that they decide to go in. Because right now they've been announcing films left and right, so who knows what's coming up next. But if they do decide to go with Legion of Doom or a Deathstroke solo movie or something like that, it is a nice little setup, so I really appreciated that.
Oh yeah, totally. I can't wait to see what they do with Deathstroke for sure. Superman's return. Now, this isn't a spoiler. You obviously know Superman is going to come back in Justice League. You must be living under a rock if you didn't know that. But I wanted to talk about the way they brought back Superman, where he's finally in the city. Superman, they resurrect him from his coffin, and then we see Clark Kent. It kind of looks like he was going evil, like he's like a Terminator or something. He's beating up the Justice League members, beating their asses. I really like that one small scene where he picks up Batman and he's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" That was awesome. And in my review, I totally said that this is the Superman we needed. And this is the best iteration of Superman in the DCEU for sure.
Yeah, I agree that this is the best Superman. It feels like Superman. I do like Henry Cavill's performance as Superman. I'm a little bit mixed on how they brought him back. It seemed a little bit too rushed to me. But by the same token, I'm glad that they did bring him back right away. I wanted Superman back, and I wanted to see this version of Superman. No, that is a little bit more lighter. It is a little more comedic. It's not the doom and gloom from Man of Steel or BVS. No, so I wanted to see that. It just felt a little bit rushed, and I was not really a big fan of seeing the Flash and Cyborg dig up his body kind of like grave robbers. That scene between them was fine. It just seemed kind of out of character for the Justice League to, dig up people out of their graves for some reason. I'm not a huge comic fan, but I do know that there are different ways that Superman has come back, without, being put, dug out of the ground and put into the pool in the Kryptonian ship and everything else. So, had they done something a little bit different, I may have felt a little bit better about that. But again, I'm glad that they did bring him back quickly, and that this new incarnation of Superman is more in line with what I wanted.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could totally see this whole movie did feel kind of rushed with Superman's return. You could definitely tell Joss Whedon was hugely involved in the reshoots with Superman, with his CGI upper lip. But yeah, the way they brought him back to life, yeah, it was a little rushed. Like, you could have done something a little better than that. But I just really like the way they portrayed Superman in the film, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of Henry Cavill. I liked him in both the previous two movies, but in this movie, I think he just nails it. This is the Superman that I want to see. I want to see Man of Steel 2 or Superman or whatever they're going to call his solo film. I want to see that right now.
Yeah, I want to see more of Superman for sure. Now let's talk about the new characters being introduced. Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. Jeff, give us your overall thoughts of the newest characters in Justice League.
Overall, I really like them. I think that the Flash and Aquaman were the two stronger characters. Cyborg kind of felt like more of a side character. There wasn't a whole lot of development with him. I'm definitely excited to see Aquaman next fall in his solo movie. And Ezra Miller as the Flash just stole the show, especially comedically. I mean, virtually every comedic moment belonged to Ezra Miller as the Flash, and I just loved every moment that he was on screen.
Yeah, for sure. The Flash was probably my favorite new character to be introduced, because I haven't seen the TV series, but just the Flash as a character is like Peter Parker. He's a kid, he's excited to be a part of this team, just to see him in the trailers go, "You're Batman?" Like, oh my god, that's the bat signal? I mean, this is the Batmobile? Like, he just feels excited to be a part of this team because he has nothing better to do with his life. His father's in prison, and that's a really good scene with him, like, finally reconnecting with his father, who he has a rocky relationship with. But just to see him finally on screen was definitely a great taste for the eyes. And Aquaman, I'm excited for his solo film. I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman. And Cyborg, too. He had some good quips in there. He's kind of a hard character to get across. I can see that. He's just a robot who just reads files and everything. I could definitely see that. They could have done more with Cyborg, but just him as a character is just likable.
Yeah, like I said, I liked all three. They obviously gave the most character development to the Flash, followed by Aquaman, and then, like I said, the Cyborg character kind of felt more like a side character, kind of almost like an afterthought. I enjoyed all of them, and all the members of the Justice League as a team, the way they work off each other and their chemistry and banter back and forth is definitely a highlight of the film, for sure.
Oh yes. Now, let's talk about the action sequences in the film. My favorite action sequence is probably the battle on Themyscira, where Steppenwolf arrives to take one of the mother boxes from Queen Hippolyta. This huge, epic Lord of the Rings battle goes down. It's just beyond epic and awesome to see the Amazonian warriors back from Wonder Woman and Queen Hippolyta, and to see Steppenwolf. He is in my negatives, but he didn't do much for me as a character. But just that whole action sequence was just awesome.
Yeah, that action sequence was fine. I really liked that. And I also liked that exposition scene where Wonder Woman is telling Bruce Wayne about Steppenwolf. And you see the battles between the humans, the Amazonians, the Atlanteans, and even that brief little cameo of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I like seeing that. Yeah.
You know, it wasn't much, but it was just a hint that, oh yeah, Green Lantern exists in this universe. We'll probably see him in a future movie. It was, no, I really enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And people were saying that is an Easter egg, because at the end of Batman v Superman, and Lex Luthor's painting behind him, it's that same action sequence, if you're paying attention. So that's cool little Easter eggs that they threw in there for sure. Also, the one I wanted to talk about is the Red Ghost Town, the final action sequence. They're fighting Steppenwolf. This big ghost town. It was really fun. It does get CGI heavy for sure, but it really entertained me. And I just like seeing the scenes of all the characters just getting their moments to shine and fight. And to finally see Superman join in the fun, destroying Steppenwolf. It's just a feast for the eyes, and I just really like that. And also, it does show this one family over and over again. Like, there's no other people in the town. Like, that's just a little random to me. But that whole action sequence was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this entire movie, is that it is just fun. You know, it's definitely a mixed bag. It is a different tone from other DCEU movies. And like I said earlier, it's not without its problems, but there is a lot of fun to be had. You know, if you go in with mild expectations and just enjoy what it's presenting to you, you're going to have a good time.
Now, Jeff, let's just talk about some small scenes that we really liked. The one small scene in the film that I really liked is Diana Prince and Bruce Wayne having a confrontation where Bruce Wayne brings up Steve Trevor and then she pushes him. That's definitely a good confrontation going on, because you never bring up Steve Trevor to Diana Prince, or else that's just going too far. Just that small character building where Bruce Wayne kind of sees he's kind of an ass. He couldn't have brought that up. It's just, everything's not perfect. Like, these characters don't just tell jokes after jokes and get along. They do have a little bit of confrontations in there. That's what I appreciated the most.
Oh yeah, that scene is fantastic in that it calls back to Wonder Woman's film. You really see how much she felt for Steve Trevor, and you know that it's still a raw hurt that she has. You know, anytime that he's mentioned, and again, Bruce Wayne is being a little bit of a dick by bringing him up, and that confrontation is a great character moment in this film.
Yeah, for sure. Jeff, were there any other small scenes that you appreciated?
Yeah, that scene for sure. Like I mentioned, the exposition scene, even though I'm normally not a fan of exposition, just seeing that battle between Steppenwolf and the Amazonians, the Atlanteans, the humans, and the Green Lantern Corps, that was fun to see on screen for once. Again, the whole movie is just a lot of fun overall.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, really a lot of fun. So, let's just go over our negatives now in this spoiler talk. I said that Steppenwolf is my biggest flaw with the film. He's like Malekith from Thor the Dark World. Just a totally forgettable villain with just a very cliche plan. Wants to find these mother boxes, kind of like the Infinity Stones with Thanos, and just wants to take over the world. They just didn't do much with Steppenwolf, like developed him, and I could see the runtime being a big factor to that. And also, the CGI in the film could have been better, especially the final act. I like the way the Flash's lightning looks, just some scenes with, you know, characters fighting each other, and also small dialogue scenes, especially one with Aquaman and Batman. It totally feels like a close-up green screen shot. It does look very noticeable. And also, yeah, the runtime is a little short, but wanted a little more time developing these characters. But still, those are flaws I can kind of accept.
Yeah, you brought up a lot of the same flaws that I have with it. Starting with the runtime, I do appreciate that it's short because, a lot of the criticism with Batman v Superman is that it was too long. And so I get where Warner Brothers was trying to go with that. However, I think had it been stretched out, it would have just highlighted the flaws in the movie a little bit more. And that there is no real through storyline. It just seems like little montages, little clips back and forth. Overall, it is a fun time. Aquaman and Bruce Wayne talking. Definitely a soundstage green screen reshoot. He is not in Iceland or wherever he's supposed to be. That is... I mean, I do better green screen effects on my videos. So that's definitely a flaw. Steppenwolf as a CGI character, we've seen much better performance capture, much better motion capture in other movies. And no, I don't know that you can fault the reshoots on that because the modeling looks good. It just wasn't fully rendered, or there was something missing that it almost felt like a video game cutscene every time that he was on screen. Overall, I probably enjoyed the film more than 90% of the critics have. It was just a fun time for me. It's definitely a step in the right direction for DC. And as I mentioned, I want to see another DC film right now. I don't want to wait another full year to see Aquaman. And so I hope that with the success or lack thereof of Justice League, that they will start pumping out more films more frequently. Because what they're doing right, they're really doing right. What they're doing wrong, they've had their hits and misses, but I think overall they're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm excited for what the DCU has for the future as well. Wonder Woman 2, hopefully we get a Deathstroke movie, a Batman movie. I'm excited for Matt Reeves. I hope they reboot Green Lantern the right way. Yeah, so many ideas DCU has. They should go for it because Marvel makes great films. They can easily formulate the success that Marvel's done. And you don't have to pick one side, Marvel or DC. Just watch them. Be a comic book movie fan. That's what I am. I appreciate both Marvel and DC.
Exactly. And these constant online battles between the DC fanboys and the Marvel fanboys, just cut it out. Just enjoy the movies for what they are. You can be fans of both, like I am, like Ryan is. You don't need to pick a side. And like you mentioned, with Wonder Woman 2 and Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy and everything else that they've announced, they definitely have a good lineup of films and ideas that they can use, and I'm so excited to see them. I just wish that, they would stick to a plan and go with it.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up our spoiler discussion for Justice League. Overall, Jeff and I had a blast with Justice League. Despite its flaws, you guys should definitely see Justice League because it is a good time for sure. Jeff, thank you so much for joining me on my spoiler discussion, man. We have to do more collabs in the future, and one is coming up. We're filming it tomorrow, but we'll talk about that. Jeff, real quickly, tell my subscribers where we can find you on your social media.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube at Jeffito's Movie Blog. On Twitter, it's at Jeffito's Blog. And on Stardust, simply Jeffito. Stardust is a great app. Quick 30-second reviews and reactions. But check me out there as well.
Awesome. Yeah, Jeff will be on the redemption episode of Rotten or Fresh, so look out for that very soon. But thank you guys as always for watching this video, and if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below, and click that notification bell on your way out. Go subscribe to Jeffito's Movie Blog, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!